going to now do a deep dive on the usage of social media in learning. We actually referred to an interesting study that was done by the ASTD a couple of years ago, and they asked they asked about 700 learning leaders if they thought Web 2.0 tools were going to have an impact on the learning department. And back in 2008, only about 10% said yes, but then they asked them to predict, and they said by 3 years from now, meaning this year that we're just ending, something like 89% of learning departments will be experimenting with some type of Web 2.0 tools. So there's a really interesting study that just came out a month ago. If you haven't seen it, I'd like to frame it for us because I think it's one of the drivers that we're going to see and read about more and more as we head into 2012. It's called the Cisco Connected World Technology Report. And they interviewed about 3,000 college students and young professionals in 14 countries. And there were a lot of interesting results, but I'm just going to talk about 3 because I think these are the 3 that I see as drivers for why more companies are getting involved in the whole social learning arena. First of all, 2 out of 3 respondents would rather choose internet access over having a car. So it took a deep dive on the importance of internet access. And really the top line here, when we get to the final slide, is that millennials are going to be really disrupting not only the IT departments of companies, but I think the learning departments of companies with the kinds of demands that we're going to see in a minute for increased mobility, increased usage of social collaboration tools at work, and increased personalization of these tools. That was another big finding, that millennials are entering organizations wanting to choose the tools, the personal productivity tools they use at work. The second finding was 3 out of 10 feel that working remotely is actually a right to be able to do that, be able to fit work in around the rest of their life. And actually this is now being used heavily in the recruiting process as a benefit for organizations that not only allow telecommuting and telework, but also have put the policies and practices into place so that leaders know how to manage teleworkers. And then finally, the top line of the whole study, which came out on many forms of media about a month ago, 3 out of 5 of these almost 3,000 millennials would rather accept a lower paying job if they had more flexibility with regard to which tool they use at work, i.e. a PC or a Mac, social media access in the workplace, and the ability to be mobile. So there's a significant trend toward really using these tools and having more and more companies touting this in the recruiting process. So